Hi, gang. Welcome back to Waxing On. It's Monday. That means it's jazz. And today we're going to look at one of the great jazz trombonists of my era, J.J. Johnson. I've got one CD which surprisingly contains 8 different albums. It's an album here called J.J. Johnson 8 Classic Albums. And it's released on, I'll just give you a second here, Real Gone Jazz. That's the label, which kind of makes me think it probably was one of those discount bin finds. 2 CD set containing 8 of his albums ranging from 1953 till 1961. And I'll just give you an idea which ones they are. Certainly JJ made a name for himself, not only as a leader, but as a sideman, doing session work. We talked about him, I guess, earlier during the Miles Davis first episode when he was playing with Birth of the Cool. Just to give you some idea of what he has on here, these are the 8 albums that are featured. One called The Eminent J.J. Johnson, Volume 1, and there is also Volume 2 on here. J is for Jazz. Let me see, The Great Kai and J. Some people say K and J, but it's Kai Winding and J.J. Johnson. And 2 great trombone players together that had some great epic albums. And if you get a chance, check those out for sure. While JJ is a great trombone player on his own, he put the 2 of these guys together and they had something magical going on. We had a similar band in my area called Duobone that played 2 trombone players, Art Katona and Jay Harrison, and it was excellent. And I think a lot of it was kind of derived from this band as well. They had that trombone duo as the lead guys. Blue Trombone from 1957. Touch of Satin, 1960. 1960 also was JJ Incorporated, and First Place, the last album. Now, JJ has some great sidemen with him as well. I'm just looking over the list quickly. A couple of trumpet players stand out, Clifford Brown and Freddie Hubbard, both of whom we've spoken about before. Bass players, he'd used Paul Chambers and Charles Mingus. Charles Mingus, one that we featured on here and also was mentioned during the Joni Mitchell episode. And on drums, we got Max Roach, Elvin Jones, Roy Haynes. I mean, he had some great players playing with him. And I was surprised when I actually went through and did a little research on him. Apparently, he also played for the Carol Burnett Orchestra. If you remember that, during her show, had a live band on the episodes as well. So he's done a lot of work, a lot of recordings. If you go on and look at his discography, it just goes on and on. These 8 albums were early albums that he was a leader and certainly helped define the sound. He was one of the proponents of bebop. Dizzy Gillespie kind of encouraged him to take part in that, so he's also involved with Birth of the Cool with Miles Davis, and a lot of great stuff on his own. And again, I keep coming back to that Kai and Jay material, just some excellent things to look at. Now, the beauty of this CD, and again, I think it was a discount bin find. The beauty of this one is I've got 8 albums in the palm of my hands. I mean, 2 CD set, 8 full albums, and probably at a pretty reasonable price. Again, this Real Gone Jazz, not really a label I recognize. I mean, you could go back and buy all these individually, and on the streaming network, there is quite a few of these albums available. Not all of them, but when I list off the names, I went back and checked, and I'm going to say probably over half, 2/3 of what is on these discs is available on streaming networks. Of course, you can still buy hard copies of some of them as well, but to check it out and find out what you like, who the performers are that are playing on the different groups, streaming is always a good place to start. So that's it for Monday. As we're looking at trombone players. I mean, we featured some before. We featured Bill Watrous quite a while ago, Carl Santana, Dave Bergeron, J.J. Johnson, certainly one of the legends. And his work with Kai Winding, again, just legendary. Just some masterful work there. So if you get a chance, check them out. So that's our recommendation for Monday. Kai and Jay, or just J.J. Johnson. So I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by, staying with us. I look when I go on my stats for YouTube, I have a very small percentage of viewers that are watching from Canada, which is where I'm broadcasting from. Now, I don't know if you can get in and make comments or not, but if you're viewing from somewhere else, I'd be really interested to find out who else is watching. You know, just a little comment on what country you're from, just to give me some idea of who the viewership is. That would really be neat. So, until Wednesday, take care. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on Wednesday.